This is the Guam Community College Board of Trustees monthly meeting. Today is April 14, 2023. First, let's call the meeting to order. Time is 12:04. No. All right. So let's go now to swearing in for Trustee Guerrero.
Where do you want?
You want to do it right here?
Where do you want it?
Trina, where's best?
Where's your best? The back wall, actually.
Oh, it's just a shot of them in action.
Okay,
Yeah. What's that?
Sorry.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Please raise your right hand. Okay, follow me. Guam Community College Board of Trustees, oath of office. I,
I,
your name,
Carlo M. Leon Guerrero,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
in the presence of Almighty God
in the presence of Almighty God
that I will and faithfully support
that I will and faithfully support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the laws of the United States applicable to Guam,
the laws of the United States applicable to Guam,
and the laws of Guam,
and the laws of Guam,
that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my duties
that I will conscientiously and impartially discharge my duties
as member of the Guam Community College Board of Trustees.
as member of the Guam Community College Board of Trustees.
Pursuant to, I think I have to read that. Pursuant to 6 GCA 4308, I declare that the foregoing is true and correct executive meaning of Guam Community College to this date of April 14, 2023, and signed by the member. And doing this on behalf of our chairman, Frank Ariola. Welcome back. Frank.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Oh, the chair.
Yes.
Okay.
Can we? Thank you, ma'am.
Well, should everybody join? Or?
There
you go.
Trustees.
I should be in
First, and 1, 2, 3, one more, and 1, 2, 3.
Good. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. One moment. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll do next roll call, please.
Okay, Frank Ariola will be coming later. Carlo Leon Guerrero,
Here.
Richard Sablon,
Here.
Rose Guino,
Here.
Gina Ramos. Here. Kenley McWeely,
Here.
Capricorn, Dr. Mary Okada. Here. Kenneth Bautista,
Here.
Simone Bollinger, Attorney Roland Montanone.
Here.
That's it.
Thank you, Berta. So
Welcome.
everyone, please recite our mission statement, please. Guam Community College
is a leader in career and technical workforce development, providing the highest quality, student-centered education and job training for my nation.
Great. Now, in your packet is the last meeting minutes. Give you time to review that and need a motion for approval. Meeting minutes was also sent via email in advance for the group to review.
Move to approve, Madam Chair.
So there is a motion to approve from trustee Sablan. Any second?
A second.
Second by trustee Ramos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? Next minutes, approved. Any communication requests?
So I would just like to put on the record that we received on March 30th, 2023, a letter from the speaker, a copy of the letter that the speaker sent to the governor regarding the reappointment of Trustee Leon Guerrero to serve again as the member of the Guam Community College Board of Trustees.
That's great.
That's the only communication we have.
All right. Any public discussions?
There is no request for public discussion.
Thank you. Now let's move on to reports. Let's hear it from our president.
Okay, starting off with the financial status of the college. To date, the college has received a total of $11,795,235, which is equivalent to 92% of what has been billed and requested in accordance with the allotment schedule. The breakdown is as follows: from the general fund, $8,309,925. From MDF, $3,228,120. The post, $51,444. CIP, $100,200, and the first generation trust of $105,546. And so that is currently the financial status of the college as of April 6th. Moving on to other activities that are occurring here at the college. So as a participant, the Guam Community College Nurse Medical Assisting Program did support the Crime Stoppers McDonald's 5K, 2K. And this is, we also provided a small sponsorship to the organization to help, of course, curb crime here on the island. We are continuing discussions with GMH and Public Health and Social Services regarding medical interpreting. And so that's an important project for us. The team for career and technical education has garnered a seat on a work group that identifies opportunity gap analysis for career and technical education. And this is really to identify how all students can access career and technical education. And so that project is currently ongoing. And I mentioned last meeting that the college applied for a grant through ACCT, which is the Association for Community College Trustees, regarding a technical assistance grant program for SNAP. And so we were awarded $7,500, and we will move forward with those, with that project to help identify individuals that are currently on campus that may be eligible for financial aid, and providing them more services or information about services related to SNAP. And so that was a good mini grant that we applied through ACCT. We did submit the updated, through the governance process, of course, the last meeting we identified and approved the updated budget, which has been subsequently submitted to Senator San Agustin and the 37th Guam Legislature. There are several scholarships that the Development and Alumni Office is working on. We do have a scholarship that was made on behalf of the former Associate Dean Gary Hartz. And so that's a scholarship for our students. We also have Andrea Elau from Ed Elau's mom, so his family. Gerald Bagan, and then we also have from Kurt S. Moyman scholarships. So that's a new scholarship for us that we recently received. And then the final one that we're working on that is supported through the foundation, of course, is the Accelerated Learning for DEAL, which is college and math for high school students to avail of college and math and the post-secondary, which is reverse transferred back into their high school programs. So those are additional scholarships for students. We have submitted 2 additional grants to the Department of Interior, focusing on more boot camp training and building institutional capacity for our, again, for our programs. Planning and Development and the Sustainability Office completed the updates to the Institutional Strategic Master Plan, and that was presented during college assembly earlier this week. And we have additional ongoing training. We are moving forward with the advanced leave request. We already have payroll on electronic format, and so now we're moving into including, again, the additional bells and whistles to do the leave approvals electronically so that we can cut back on the,
What system are you using?
so we're using the Illusion Banner, which is an integrated database, which covers everything from HR to payroll to finance to student and to all the reporting database as well. We are also including and continuing to recruit. We have the following positions that we're currently recruiting. The supply expediter, our institutional researcher, a program specialist for continuing education. We do have a program coordinator and a computer systems analyst. And so some of these are to fill positions that have been positions for people leaving the college, but also some internal promotions as well. So we're doing the recruitment for that. And I want to say that one of the, maybe a highlighted team effort for GCC was the assistance for George Washington High School cleanup.
Yeah, so
And that cleanup continues tomorrow. We did provide metal mixed trash and wood bins to help clean up all of the debris at the back of the campus. And so that will be extended again tomorrow for them to help us. As I mentioned earlier, there are 2 classrooms that we will be renovating to support our nursing program at the GW High School campus. And so we will work through that as well. And so those are some of the updates that are happening, but just a few other things in terms of CIP. So our first bid that went out, or second bid that went out for AC replacement in 2022 completed finally on March 31st. We do have a second round of air conditioner replacements. One thing we will note is that when we put the bids out, it's now taking anywhere from 6 to 8 months to get the units on campus. So if a unit goes down and can't be repaired, it is taking a long time to get all of those air conditioners in. So we're in the process now of starting to upgrade some of the older units in anticipation that there's going to be some breakdowns that occur. So we're hoping to help to facilitate that, because even if we were to order it now, it will not be here in time for the next academic year. So of course, the bid is already out.
even to ship.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time. So that's where we are on that, and I will get into the other CIP projects later on in the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to monthly activities reports. The Trustee Kelly for student.
So we have on Thursday, March 23, from 4 to 8 p.m. Located at parking lot H, we had our spring festival at the Tour of the Pacific. That was a great turnout. We had entertainment and a lot more came than before. And then we had on Friday, March 24, our COPSA meeting. And then we also have our application to run for the 2023-2024 GCC Student Leader election. They've been handed out and was collected on Wednesday, March 29 at 3 p.m. And then April 3rd, located in room E117 and 118 from 9 to 3, we had our COPS officers and myself attended a transformation training with Dr. DeSantis and Dr. Sauter. And then on today, April 14th, we have our COPSA General Membership meeting at 1. And then Wednesday, April 19th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the training room 5108 at the Student Center. COPSA is hosting their game night, which includes board games, card games, and video games. That's present.
There's a lot of activities, and they're just, how many weeks before graduation? Yes. It's getting exciting. Thank you. All right, faculty advisor. That was not here. Support staff.
Okay, yeah. So the support staff have just been pretty busy preparing the campus for summer semester, and as well as getting ready for the commencement ceremony. We attended the college assembly, which talked about the accreditation showing us the new standards and giving input in regards to that, with the faculty, staff, and administrators. But lastly, we know that the 22% was passed for the staff, and we just hope that we will be able to see it in the next speaker. Basically mentioned that as soon as they get it, as soon as the funding's there, we can start paying that out. Anything before that would be virtual in regards to that. And pretty much that's all tonight.
Thank you. Board of Trustees, Community Outreach.
Nothing to report.
Jean?
Nothing.
Nothing to report from me as well.
There's not much to report, but I personally had rescued somebody in help last Easter Sunday. So I think that's a community outreach. Being a nurse out there during the mass. So that's the only one I can report. But the other thing is we supported attended the autism run by the autism community of Guam. Last Saturday, we did a 5K awareness, and that was a good turnout. And then we have a big population here in Guam. Just quickly comment back to the, I'm really happy that we're doing the medical interpreting program. This is a huge need for not only in the hospital, but also in the clinic. This is a requirement for us as part of our, meeting best practices and compliance. So I really hope that as GCC, be able to really produce and support that, because it's still a limit. It's one of the areas I believe here in our healthcare facility. All right, thank you so much. Let's move to unfinished business.
So starting off with updates on several construction projects, the forensic lab. So forensic lab is at 99.9% complete. And part of the reason, or part of the initiative left on this is really to work with DPW to demonstrate that based on the scope of work that was provided in the bid, that the scope of work has been completed and that the connection of additional equipment is not necessarily was not part of the scope but is necessary, but that it should not hold up occupancy. So we're working through that now with DPW. Working with DPW, TRMA, and of course the contract.
So they're the only one who did not sign up?
So that's what they're saying, is that the installation of the equipment is necessary in order for occupancy. But if you look at the scope of work, the scope of work did not necessarily include that. So we're just working to see if they can give us the occupancy on that. But we're working through that piece. Of course, the next one is going to be building 300, which has been inching along. It is now at 99.75% complete. I would see on average, it's probably about, the only area is the permitting component that is still kind of low. In order for them to get the actual permit, they're working on getting that resolved, getting all the clearances for the permit. That's the only one running about 37%. Architectural punch list is at 78, structural is at 95, electrical at 97, miscellaneous about 65. And so the permit piece is where they need to focus so they can get occupancy for that building. In terms of the wellness center, so the wellness center, Dr. Julie did meet with representatives from USDA. There are a few more things that we need to do. Including a certification from a loaning institution that the foundation was unable to finance the project, and that's typical for the application. And then there's a requirement for a complete environmental report, and then just the use of what the facility is to be used for, just some clarification on that, so that it has its wellness and instructional component that is significant compared to the recreational component. So I think it's something that we can work on, and we will get through that USDA project. Building B, Building B is currently at 33.7%. They have been working on the columns and the footings and installation, of course, of the forms and rebars for the columns and the walls. And so they have monthly meetings and are, like I said, 33.7% complete for Building B renovation. Workforce Development Center, thank you, legal counsel, we finally got SAC 21 submitted. Right now they're just waiting for them to finalize the bid specs and upload it for EDA approval. So that is also in progress. EDA officials will be here in about 2 weeks, and so I'll have an opportunity to speak with them about this project. So that is ongoing now. And then Student Center concrete canopy. Student Center concrete canopy is actually progressing very well. It is at 98% complete.
Wow, it's a big jump.
Yeah, so they've done the painting of the structure. They're doing the installation of the light fixtures and the solar panels, and working on the hydro seeding and the lawn. So that project is going to be done really soon, 2% left.
They already took down the barrier, they're just starting to take it down.
Yeah, so it'll be a nice highlight. So we can expect something to happen here in the next couple of weeks with the completion of the student canopy. Hopefully before students leave. Hopefully before students leave. Okay, and then the Culinary Arts and Baking Center. So we did get the approval from U.S. Department of Education for us to use the remaining higher education emergency relief funds, about $1.9 million for that renovation. The RFP is out, and the bid opening is scheduled for the end of the month. So we should have a clear indication on the cost of that facility. And we also, just a couple days ago, sent out the list of the culinary equipment that is needed, because we want to make sure that when the building is done, that the that the equipment is already here. So that is also, has been released. I think it may have been released earlier this week. If not, it'll be out next week, yeah. So that's already ongoing, and so now we have another construction project to start monitoring. And that's it for construction. All right.
Okay, so let's move, any questions from the board? Okay. Let's move to new business. First is DOT policy review series 500, policy 711, 208, and 209. And thank you for the team that reviewed it. I think we have discussed it.
Yeah.
We did the meeting.
So we did have a work session to go over the recommended changes for each of the policies. In your packet, you will find the updated version, the track change version, and then on the other side is the clean version. And so all of these were vetted. We did have some participation from administrators, and Simone was also there to provide some additional language on a few of the policies. And so what is being presented today is Series 500, which includes Policy 500, which relates to the Guam Community College Student Handbook. Policy 505, which relates to student co-curricular activities. Policy 510, which is the admission and attendance of incarcerated students. Policy 515, which is the Pacific Island Student Endowment Fund. Policy 520, which is the enrichment student category as identified when we do registration. And then we go on to policy 711, which deals with GCC Apprenticeship Training Program. And then the final two policies are updates to policies 208 which is the authorized signatories for bank transactions. And on this particular one, it was just the inclusion of the credit card, the institutional credit card. And then policy 209, which is authorized signatories for bank transactions that deal with wire and credit card payment transactions. And so these are presented to the board for their final approval for each of the respective updates. So I don't know if you want to approve them one by one, or if you want to just approve them all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all at once. I
Yeah,
think
all
Frank
at
and I were sitting in on that
Yeah.
meeting,
Thank
so I move to approve
All right.
both the changes for policy 500 and policy 208.
So there is a motion to approve the policy series 500 as presented. I think there's 6 of that, and policy 208 and 209.
And 711.
Two.
And 711.
711.
711.
Yeah. Any second?
I second the motion.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right. Motion. Policy, two, okay, so thank you so much, I really appreciate all your work on the review of the policy, especially also from the presence of our trustee on that meeting. Okay, great. Next one in our pocket is the 5-year academic calendar, 2023 to 2028.
So every year, the Board of Trustees receives the 5-year academic calendar rolling forward. So as we near the end of the current academic year, which is 2023, we now present 24, 25, 26, 27, so that we can identify what the, when classes start, when the holidays are, and when classes end, when commencement is, and when the potential makeup days. And so based on the Board of Trustees agreements on participatory governance, the calendar committee submitted the draft calendar to the Faculty Senate for their review. And the Faculty Senate reviewed the calendar, provided their input or their feedback, and all of that feedback was taken into consideration. And this is the final product of the calendar for academic year 2023-2024. Through academic year 2027 through 2028. So this is presented to the board for their approval.
I move to accept the 5-year academic calendar, 2023 to 2028.
Any second?
I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for all of those who helped to put this academic calendar together. All right. Without any other questions from the board, can we move to have a motion to go to executive session?
I so moved.
All right,
I second.
second? Okay, great. We're moving to executive session. Thank you so much all for your participation. Have a great Friday.
Mr. Mary, ready?
Yes.
Yes, we're ready. So we're now in the open session. First is to approve the president's report.
I move to approve President College report.
All right, there is a motion from trustee Ramos to approve the president's report. Any second?
I second.
All right, second by trustee Kennedy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any other announcement, discussion from the board?
So just an announcement, tomorrow we do have the mall event that is sponsored by the math and science departments that will be supporting one of our medical assisting graduates who has come back to Guam. She's finishing up her semester. She will be then going into her 5-year residency as a pediatrician.
Yes.
And she has an event at the mall that is really to help young kids with the teddy bear recognize and trying to demonstrate that you don't need to be fearful going to the doctor. And so she's wanting to give back to the college, and this is her effort working with the math and science department. And we're anticipating that this activity is probably going to expand in the future years with more support from like our nursing students. And so that's tomorrow at the mall from 12 to 5 p.m.
This is a great recognition of our alumni as they moved into their career, and really proud that, thankful that she's giving back. All right, thank you. Any other announcement, otherwise? No? So, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
All
Madam
right.
Chair.
All right, so meeting adjourned at 12:57.
We need a second.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
There you go.
All right, sorry. So 12, yeah, still 12:57. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Mary's not gonna be here for graduation?